enchiladas, just come on over to my house. Nope, sorry, didn't make that today. Another day though. Oh, I'm really good at making enchiladas. So anyways, what are we painting? The rower. One of my favorite pictures. And this rower here is one ripped man. He's not only surrounded by rippled water, but he has lots of rippled muscles. And you know, when I created and drew this picture, which you can download right this minute, so get online, go to marriedtoart.com at the bottom of the screen, download this picture under digital download and paint along with me. Or if you don't want to paint and mess with that cleanup, then get those colored pencils out. Colored pencils are good too. So whatever you have available, please use it. As you can see, this canvas is, I believe, it's a 12 by 14, but I forgot to measure. So it's this size right here, whatever this size is. And I've already prepped the canvas. And this is one of those custom-made canvases that my loving husband, Gary, has created. Thank you, Gary. Shout out. Yay, Gary. And I put I gessoed the canvas first. And you always want to put a gesso on every canvas, even if it's been gessoed. Put an extra layer of a gesso on it, maybe 2 or even 3, because if you're using oils, if the oils seep through the fabric, and this is linen fabric here, it could ruin it. So you do want to gesso very, very well. And I've also done a light blue that I did in a painting. Just a little light blue painting. And then I put some gray here, which are kind of like the mountains. I wanted the picture has bushes, but I thought, this man deserves mountains. Because I think that that's a kind of image that he relates to me by looking at it. And then I also did a black background with just an acrylic paint. And I did some white crisscrosses. And why did I do that? Was I just going kind of crazy? No, what I was doing was I was trying to give it some depth. So when I put a liquid white and a liquid black on it, then those ripples will show through. So there is a reason for my thinking. Sometimes I can't explain it, but there is good reasoning for it. I'm going to move my screen so I don't have my head cut off completely. There we go. That's even a little bit better. And you'll see my picture that I just finished in the background. We'll talk about that at the end. So shall we get started? Yes. And guess what? Margarita time. Celebrate. Celebrate with the margarita. Celebrate. Very good. Tasty. Okie doke. So put this here, and I don't have it anchored in, so I will be lifting it up, and I'm going to move the screen down so you can see less of me and more of the picture. There we go. And I'm going to gesso the top of it with the white, and I have Bob Ross's what's it called? I can't remember now. I had it down, liquid white and liquid black. And so I'm going right over the light blue acrylics, and then I'm going over the mountains, and I'm going to go along the side too, because this is a gallery style picture. And gesso is very, very thin. And I'm going to put it, where am I going to put this? Right, I'm going to move some of this stuff here for 1 second. Just bear with me. I know you can. I don't want those paints to drop because they're a mess to pick up. All right, now I can put that there. So I'm going to gesso the top, just like this. Let me make sure you can see, and you can. Okay, gesso it white. And it's very, very thin, and you want to go along the side. And I really want to make the background almost disappear. And that's what the gesso does. Going on very, very thin layer, not worried about the brush strokes, getting maybe a little bit more in along the line, the shoreline. And the top, I want to get the top of it. really well. So I'm going along here, along this beautiful canvas. Not even covering up all the blue, and then this little strip there I'm going to go through, thin it out some, go along the shoreline again, getting some of that loose paint. The next thing I want to do is I want to put just a little bit of black up here, and I'm doing that with a palette knife. And just a small little cheap palette knife, grabbing just a little tiny bit of black, mixed with a little bit of blue. It's on a very, very thin layer. And right where those clouds are, I'm just going to make some marks. Here's this cloud, these mountains. Here's a mountain here, and then here's a mountain that goes up, and then it comes down, and then here's a really big mountain that goes over the top. Don't fall, I know you're a strong mountain. So that's just an image, and then take your big old fat brush. It's about a 1 inch or 2 inch brush, and then brush it up and brush it to the side, just like that. And that liquid white just goes right in there, and it makes those mountains just kind of disappear. And I'm going to hold on to it a little bit on the side because these mountains are going crazy. And then at the top, the mountain's way up there, and look how that just blends in. I'm going to wipe it off just a little bit and then blend it in more, and then blend it down slightly, ever so slightly. Beautiful mountains made very, very quickly. You can tell those are some man mountains. Maybe they're woman mountains. I think they are woman mountains. Okay, the next thing I want to do is get my liquid black and grab my brush. Do I have to use that same brush? It looks like I do, because I don't believe I brought another brush in. There we go. Here's another clean brush. Put liquid black on it and go along the shoreline, not even being careful. If I go into the sky, it goes into the sky. Covering up those crisscross marks I made, going across the side, making it a gallery set, no drop. I guess I have to hold on tighter, it says. Going along the side in the gallery style picture. And then of course I will go along the bottom, but not today, because I do want it to dry some. And as you can see, I do have the projector on. I forgot to mention the projector is on, but I don't think I have to tell you. You're pretty smart and you can see that projector is on. I'm going to go a little heavier on the bottom, because the closer you get, the darker the color should be. I think I picked up a little bit of white in there, and then going along the side. All right, let me see if I can get this anchored in so it doesn't fall again. All right. Now this is the part where I put a little boogie in it because I need to blow my nose. The next thing I want to do is to use a really dark, I'm going to use a light blue starting at the top. And this is the light blue I created right here. It's like a sky blue. I want to go up here. And of course, it's going to fall. Those things happen. That's okay. It's playing Humpty Dumpty. So what I have to do is I have to set my palette down on the table and hold on to this canvas. It's just getting too much energy. It wants to go crazy. Then I'm taking the light blue and going along that shoreline, maybe adding just a little bit of a medium blue too in there. I'm at an odd angle, but that's all right. I'm a little odd sometimes. Maybe more than some. Covering up, blending in that shoreline, but not taking it all away. I like that. And I'm going to start getting darker. Going right over that liquid white. Doing a medium brown, a dark brown, mixing my colors together very nicely. You can see that some of that white is showing through. Then I'm going to go along the side. This paints up so quickly, my friends, that you will have this painting on your wall within a day or two if you don't keep dropping it like I do. Okay, now the secret to creating water is this little palette knife. And you can see that it has these serrated edges to it, kind of bumpy. So I'm not going to give it too many waves up here at the top. I'm just scraping hard against the canvas. You can hear it going across all the way into the man. He has waves on top of him. Cleaning off the palette knife, going down lower and pressing hard as I can without tearing the canvas, going across, holding my canvas so it doesn't fall. And now I want to get more waves, a little bit bigger waves, so I'm going to make them more wavier. That liquid black is coming through those whites, X's that I put in there. That's giving the water some depth. And then I'm going to go real hard down here because there's lots of waves where that canoe is. And I'm going to bring that in closer because this is a small canvas and I really want you to see those waves that are in there. Created very quickly. See how that water has lots and lots of texture to it. I might take my brush, my big brush, and just blend it in a little bit more up here because I don't want quite as much waves going in there as I do at the bottom. Setting it down very carefully because this canvas is excited. It wants to be painted. Now the sketch goes quickly. And I need to turn out some lights for this so I can see a little bit better. And I'm going with a black, a bluish black, very, very dark. I'm getting a rounder brush. This size here, I don't know what size that is, but you can see what it looks like. Let me turn the lights out. All right, lights, goodbye. They're gone. I'm going to turn this light out too. And now you can really see the picture. You can't see me, but I'm still here. And the trick is not to kick the projector, because if you kick the projector, it really makes it hard to do anything. So I'm going to try not to kick the projector. And here's the man's head up here. And you can see it's pretty dark in there around the head. I'm going to hold the canvas slightly, very slightly. I'm just tapping in the head. And then it gets a little bit lighter, so I'm going to add some white in here. Since this is going to be a silhouette, I don't have to worry about details, a lot of details. I will do that with a smaller brush off camera. Now it starts to get a little bit lighter right around where these muscles are, ladies. And it gets really light in here. I got a big old glob of paint I need to pull off. And then there's a nice, beautiful highlight right here where the sun is coming down on his body. Alright, now let me go with a little lighter color in here. Light down his chest. And then he's got these buffed abs, chest muscles right in there. And then he gets really, really dark down around his shorts. Making circular movements, his hands in there somewhere. And this is the darkest part of the picture, so I'm going with total black. Remember, if you want to create a black, what colors? I'm going to give you a little test on my anniversary, because by now you should know what makes black. Red, yellow, and green? No, wrong. Red, yellow, and blue, they make black. A beautiful, beautiful black. What am I doing? You can't see, but that's all right. You don't need to. Not at this point. Okay, what I'm doing is just getting a little bitty small brush to do his hand. His hand has some highlights in here too. Kind of going like a V shape, upside down V shape. And then there's the shadow along his arm. I didn't get his arm in yet, so I need to get that in. I'm going to use a dark blue for that. Very, very dark. You're just seeing the outline. And then there's some darkness right around here. Shadows, I should say. I always say darkness, but I mean shadows. Then I'm going to go lighter, a little bit lighter on the arm, right up here. It's too light. How can I tell? It's not blending in like butter. I need to hold the canvas again. I probably need a little bit bigger brush for that area. I won't do that area right now. What I'll do is outline this down here, his legs. And then he's got 2 feet, folks, remember? He's got to have 2 feet standing on there. And look at the muscles on those legs. Woo! This is not his first time doing this. And I do not want to forget the oar. So the oar starts at the hand, and I'm gonna jump in front of you for 1 second. That's where it starts, and then I'm just gonna go straight down, and I think I'm going a little crooked, but that's okay if it's crooked. I can fix that later. And then of course I'll go along the edge too, when you're not looking. Let me go with my bigger brush now, because I want to get those legs in, those nice looking legs, and those are totally dark. Remember your values, your value chart. Light, mediums, and darks. And where else do I want to go? I don't think I got his total arm in there. So I need to go back and set this down for 1 second and hold on to this so it doesn't fall. And then I'm going to go along here, along the chest cavity. Very, very thin waist. Making half circle movements, motions. And then bringing his arm down, and then his hand is a little bit lighter, so I'm just going to barely tap on that. And then his neck comes in this way up at the top, and it's wonderful to paint right on with the projector, because you see absolutely all the highlights. You see everything that you need to see to make an excellent painting. Go back in with another brush that looks like this, an angle brush. And I'm going to do the canoe. getting lots and lots of paint on my brush, very, very thick, because you want to do this in a very sweeping motion. You want the darker paint going here and then getting lighter, so start here. If you're painting with me, I hope you are. Just take it and don't be afraid. Bend that brush a little bit and then go back again and make some wavy lines going across there. And what else do I want to do? I'm just going to put a dot there because that's where it's going to end. I like to have that reference. I'm going to go through this line again because I can, and then I need to probably clean it off a little bit. And I'm going to add more highlights with just a white brush. Very nice highlight in here, total highlight coming across that shoulder. There's a highlight in here, so I'm just going to put that in very lightly. Then a highlight down here at the front, just barely along there. And his hand is a little bit lighter. There's a highlight like right in here. It goes across that chest. Ooh. And there's a highlight along the legs, so I'm going to put that in too, just kind of drawing it in lightly. And then right across the top, there's a highlight going in there. It's going to go along the bottom of his feet, and then it's going to go across the top of the canoe. And don't forget the shadow. The shadow is very, very important. I am going to add a few light highlights in here just to kind of add some depth. Then along here where the shadow comes in, I want it a little bit lighter. I'm going to put that shadow in with some darker paint. Don't drop, please. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to take this brush right here, and I'm going to just put some white on it. No, actually I'm going to use a fan brush. I forgot. I'm going to put some white on one side and some dark blue on the other. And then I'm going to make some waves. Just right in here. There's some waves coming in right about there. Just taking the brush, just making it create a wave. And then right underneath here, there's another wave right in there. And then I'm going to go back over this area where the shadow goes. And what else do I want to do? I need to turn the lights on in 1 minute because what I want to do is get that shadow in. The shadow is very, very important in water to give it a realistic feel. So I'm going to do that in a black on one side and a dark blue on the other. And then I'm going to say, well, here's the shadow here. It's going to come across the boat. And then I'm just wiggling my brush, going all the way down. That shadow's going to go underneath the canvas. I think I even painted part of the easel. Shall we unveil? I think it's time. So, let me cover my hand, make sure I got most of that in there. Looks like I need to do some blending. But yes, it looks like it's got to be a beautiful, beautiful, quick, very quick painting of this muscular Hercules-like man. This picture, like I said, was taken at Coeur Lake. I'm going to wipe my hands off. I've got a rag in the back because I don't like touching my equipment with paint all over my hands. I know you're waiting. I can see I need to do some blending. Are you ready to unveil this picture? I'm ready to unveil it. Are you ready to see it? Lights. Lights. All right. I turned the projector off, and I think I've got it where I like it. Oh yes, I do like that. It is gorgeous. Let me move the projector out of my way because I want to get a better look. Pick up a few things that I dropped. All right, what do I need to do? Blend So what do you blend with? You blend with the blending brush. It's a dry brush, and this brush is not dry. So let me see if I can find another one over here. I just love cleaning brushes, you know. So what I want to is take and blend his head out just a little bit. In here, there's some big heavy paints in there. I want to keep that in there. See his muscle area, his chest. Blend that out just a little bit. There's his arm. You get the sense of an arm right in there. Taking the brush ever so lightly, moving some of that wet paint around. Every time I touch it, then I'm going to wipe it off on a paper towel. His legs need to probably blend in a little bit, so I'm going to blend that up, that stroke up. Remember, don't always blend down or across. You do want to do all kinds of different directions. All right, his hand here, looks like his hand needs to come out a little bit. His hand going in this way and then coming down that way. And then I'll fix that. Blending that in around his arm. We know there's an arm there. We don't have to tell everyone in explicit detail what that's all about. Then I'm going to take this dry brush and just go along the top, because there are some crisscross things that hold that thing in there. And let me put that in before I forget. I'm going to get a smaller brush because I do not want to clean 10,000 brushes. Yes, I exaggerate. Okay, there's some crisscrosses along here, along the top of the canoe, and they just kind of go like this. And you really can't see it in real clear detail. Let me add just a little tiny bit more right here on this part of the canoe. And then it just seems like he's walking on water. Well, we know he's not Jesus, and he can't walk on water. Oops. Oh, yeah. I don't want that canvas to go that direction. Okay, what I'm trying to do is get over to this side to get a better view. What I need to do, maybe straighten out this stroke right in here. And this you want to do while your paint is wet. And I really want to put those muscles in his chest because he's got some nice muscles, ladies, very nice. And turn the projector off because you'll be able to see better if I turn that off. There we go. So this is our Creve Coeur rower. I'm going to bring that to you just a little bit closer. I know you can pinch your screen and move it up, but I like for you to be able to see this. Beautiful picture. It created very, very quickly. Look at the canoe. Look at the water ripples. Look at the muscle ripples, and those will be fixed a little bit better. And the mountains kind of give you a mountain in the background. And all I have to really do is do a little fixing, clean up the edges, and it's pretty much done. Very, very fast. Very quick. Okie doke. Well, that's it for this one. So, the next one, I'm going to bring this out of your view for 1 second. I know you can't see me, but you can hear me. I'm going to set it on a table out here because I don't want anything happening to that one. And go over here and remind you, after I clean my hands again, that this is the Bliss of Art. Please go to marytoart.com and let me fix this camera just slightly. Up. Is that better? Okay, you're saying, well, why are you fixing it now? Well, it's better than never. Okay, it's caught. So just bear with me. There we go. That's better. Okay, hopefully I was in focus all that time. Well, you know what we have to do with our 50th anniversary is celebrate with our margarita. Salute, my friends. and remind you that all my artwork is for sale. It goes to my website, marytart.com, and the videos are all on YouTube currently, but eventually I will have those on my website. I will attach them after I figure it out how to attach the video to the picture or to the painting. And then you can, when you buy the painting, you'll have the video you can watch all over again. Yay! A few reminders that when you're painting, paint what you love. Find a really good picture that is very memorable to you, that you cherish. Look for those circles and octagons and pentagons and ovals, all those good things within your artwork. When you want to find a good picture, make sure that when I took this picture, I wanted him in the upper 2/3. His head should be in the upper 2/3. And you want some space in between where the canoe ends in the front and where the picture is going. So if a person is walking in this picture, you want lots of space in front of them because that makes a good picture. And check into some photography tips, because when you're painting, you want only your best photographs to be available for you. Go to menu, catalog photography for digital download and Mexican skull, and you will find my Mexican skull that we painted the other day. This is for sale. It's 18 by 22. It's oils on canvas. It's not cheap, folks. Oils are very expensive. They take a long time to dry. And this guy here, I designed him. So this is my very own design. You won't find anything like this anywhere else unless somebody's copied my artwork, because this is my original design. And so I'm doing more original artwork, which is why I'm going to Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I can set more time aside for my originality. And I do thank you for joining me. Keep in mind that I live stream to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twix. Anybody who will listen to me, any platform, I will live stream to. And be friendly. Tell someone you love them today. I love my husband. I thank him for being with me for 15 years. Yay, Gary, good job. You are the best frame maker, too, I've ever known. He makes wonderful, wonderful frames. And grab your margarita and your shakers, your rumba shakers, and let's go to town and let's dance right now. I sign all my artwork SVG, to God be the glory. It looks like I got to get down so you can see me more. I can dance anytime, anywhere, any place. I love dancing. So give God the glory. Give him your trust. Trust him because he wants you to. He is there for you. And he says, I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore, I've continued my faithfulness to you. Thank you again. See you on Tuesday. God bless.